Hello everyone and welcome back to another GTA5 video, where today we're going to be taking a look at things that you very well may never have seen or heard of in the world of GTA5 and online. Did you know that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's in GTA5's data that's completely unused? Well, in this video we're going to be taking a look at just some of this kind of stuff. Alongside these things we're also going to be taking a look at some things that are in the game but are obscure, or in the case of two of these objects, have a secret behind them. And of course there's no way that I could fit absolutely everything that was either cut or is unused in the game in just one video, so I went ahead and included what I thought was the most interesting out of all the things that I found through my research. So if there's something that I've missed out, and there definitely will be, just shout it out in the comments and we may very well take a look at it in another video. Alright, so there was always something that I thought was missing from Grand Theft Auto 5. There's a part of the world's map that's dedicated to the thing, but it's often used more for car racing than what it was originally designed for. Wanna have a guess as to what I'm talking about? If you said horses, then correct, you win! Nothing. For those of you who thought that it was an odd thing for Rockstar to have a horse racing track in Los Santos but to not have horses themselves in the game, then you're not alone. But did you know that at one point during the development of GTA 5, horses were in the game but were cut for some reason? We have proof of this with numerous pieces of evidence as found in the game's code, but what's interesting is the fact that you can actually see a horse in one of the commercials that play when you watch TV in GTA 5. So yeah, horses were removed from the game for some reason. I would have thought that it wouldn't be that difficult to get horses in the game, since they could just copy and paste their horse model from Red Dead Redemption 1 and call it a day. So the next piece of cut content is one that's technically used in the game, but not by the player. It's a weapon that we've all used before in GTA 4, if you've ever played that, but for some reason it's not available for the player to use in GTA 5. I'm talking about the Glock pistol. It's a standard issue pistol used by law enforcement and is an overall popular pistol that a lot of people who are remotely interested in weapons will probably know about. Here you can see the Glock holstered here by this cop, which shows that the pistol does exist in the game, but only the cops can use it apparently. Perhaps it was removed from the game as a usable weapon due to the fact that GTA 5 already has like a million different weapons already, and they perhaps thought that the Glock would be too meh to be added as part of the game and wanted to have other pistols in the spotlight. Who knows, perhaps in the later DLC we'll see the return of the Glock pistol, but for now all you can do is creepily look at a cop's pelvis and awe at the almighty Glock. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at some of the stuff that's in the game and spawnable. Some of this stuff is pretty awesome to say the least, so let's get right to it, shall we? Alright, so here we have some low poly models that are part of the game legitimately without the use of mods, but they're not really something that you get to see up close. For those who don't know, these are low detail far distance models of fake cars. These things only exist in faraway locations relative to yourself as you're playing the game. The city of Los Santos is a huge place to render on our current gaming hardware, so GTA, along with a lot of other games, utilise low poly models for far off distance cars to give the effect of an alive city that's filled to the brim with traffic and such. There's a model for day traffic as well as a model for night traffic. Simples. But the third model here, the one that resembles the Boxville van, seems to be rather absent when you take a look at all the low detail traffic. I think this Boxville model is intended to be used as part of a mission, but I can't really find any information about this model, and I would need some clarification as to where if this model is ever used in this game. The cars in the van are not technically vehicles, they're just prop objects, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a little bit of fun propping the prop on top of the real van and having a drive around. Alright, so before we move on to the next model, let's play a little game I like to call Find the Model. In between the plane and the Boxville is a secret hidden model. Can you find it? Go on, I'll give you a little bit of time. Did you find it? Well, if you're pointing at this part of the screen, then congratulations! Yeah, I was trolling around the objects list in the game and I found this teeny tiny object. From the object's name in the menu, it referred to itself as some sort of light object, and while it does seem to give us a little bit of light effect from the model itself, I'm not really sure if this is something that's used in the final game of GTA 5. It was probably used as some sort of test object for testing lighting objects or something, I don't know. Alright, so the next model that we're going to be taking a look at is a textureless model of a plane. Now, a lot of you may think, oh wow, it's an Untextured Alpha Z1. Well, I actually parked up an Alpha alongside this model just to compare the two, and you can clearly see that they are not the same plane. Looking at the overall design of the shape of the wings, it looks to me like this is some sort of Spitfire. I could be wrong, but just looking at those wings, it bears a very striking resemblance. And just like the box build from earlier, let's have a bit of fun using the tools that we have, shall we? Alright, next up we have some models which utilise some very weird textures on them. Here we have what appear to be streetlights, with weird textures on them. What's interesting is that if we go far away from the lights, the texture on them turns into a normal texture for these streetlights, probably due to the level of detailing going on, but for some reason these streetlights in the game files have weird textures whenever you get close to them. Weird. We also have these objects here. They appear to be some sort of beverage dispenser. You know, those things that you find in bars, the things that pour beer. There's these things too, and finally we have this sign here. I don't really have a comment on this. And finally we have this thing. Perhaps it was used to more easily make the final texture for this object. I'm not really sure. Next up, umbrellas. Yeah, the game already has a few similar objects on the beach, but those are parasols. They're similar objects but ultimately serve a different purpose. On the left here we have a textured but uncoloured umbrella, and on the right we have just a singular light blue colour umbrella. This is all that can be found. There's no alternate texture or colour that the umbrellas can be found in, which leads me to believe that at one point during the development of GTA 5, pedestrians may have had the ability to equip umbrellas instead of just walking out in the rain like complete idiots like in the final game. Realism. Speaking of equipping stuff, riot shields. There are two riot shield models in the data of GTA 5 that aren't actually used by the police. The two models here are of different levels of detail, but they're so similar I don't really see the point, to be honest. For reference, I took the liberty of adapting the shield to this cop here to see what it would look like, and yeah, this looks pretty darn cool. Why didn't they add this to the game? Now these two models I have a good feeling are related to each other, related in the form of the pier, as I have a good feeling that there were supposed to be much more rides at the pier than what appeared in the final game. On the left we have a bumper car, or a dodgem as they now call them, because the people who run these things don't want to have to run up the cost of repairing these things after they kept ramming into one another again and again, which is actually what they're designed to do. Ah, the 90s. Anyways, yes, this was probably something that was once considered to be added as part of the pier as a ride, but was later scrapped, which disappoints me because this would have been awesome. Getting like an entire server to join you in a mindless drive around in dinky little bumper cars, it would have been awesome. But I guess I removed it because bumper cars would never compare to the likes of a destruction derby that you could organise literally anywhere in the game. And they would also probably not allow the use of weapons while riding a dodgem. Just a thought maybe. The second object here, the teacup ride, I'm totally bamboozled as to why they removed it from the game. They left in the Ferris wheel, the thing that goes insanely slow and makes you regret ever entering the ride the first time you do so into the game, but not this. Perhaps Rockstar thought that this kind of ride would be a little childish to add to the game because the teacups are more of a children's only ride than an adults and children ride simultaneously, and would be a waste of resources continuing from there, since, you know, GTA's a man's game, no kids allowed, rated M for mature. So there we have it, a whole bunch of cut pieces of content among other other things that I hope you found interesting. This of course won't be everything that was cut from GTA 5, but if there's anything that you want me to take a look at in another video, then I'll be sure to make another video about it if you guys enjoyed the video. If you did end up enjoying the video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Pier Gaming channel for loads more videos coming to you very soon. See you around, folks.